watch them back to back. You see? Now the problem is, if you wait longer than 24 hours after you TiVo it, it does not register on the Nielsen's. Did you know that? So what that means is there are a lot of people watching Battlestar that are not registering on the Nielsen demographic. So that means that when they're looking at the ratings and think it's down, it's not down. It's just down because most people are not watching it at Friday night at 10 o'clock or Sunday when it's playing. They're watching it, waiting to buy the DVDs at the end of the season, or they're TiVoing it. I mean, they really should come to a convention and just basically have people raise hands and ask questions, because they really do need to redefine our viewing habits and the way we watch TV today. We don't watch it the same way. And Battlestar fans especially, I think with shows that you really, really love, with cliffhangers like Battlestar, you cannot wait till next week. So the problem is the demographic was, I mean, not the demographic, the Nielsen was demonstrating that we... Shut up! Miss Ederly, or is it Edgley? What is it? Edley, okay, like an egg. Eggley.
You gotta stick your finger out in this thing.
Okay.
You're drinking tea?
Where's my tea? Okay. Okay, did you put the vodka in here? Okay, all right. Just kidding. Anyway, so the sad thing was they almost canceled the show last year. And, you know, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs and all the information, but for me, it just seemed to me that Battlestar Galactica should have gone on for at least 5 years, you know, in terms of a story arc. And there's certainly a lot being packed into this. And my God, one of the nice things about this year is that how often does a writer-producer get the opportunity to know the show is going to end, so that they can actually find a powerful resolution, and you can blow out all the stops and really go for it. You know, because you're not sitting there wondering, okay, if we do that, what happens if it gets picked up? And then, my God, we've shot our wad, and we got to now come up with something new. Here, you know, the decision obviously was that we have one more season, and since Sci-Fi Channel, you know, obviously can't make a decision of whether they would absolutely guarantee a second season, you don't want to end up at the end of next season and get canceled. And then you have no story resolution. How many people have their own favorite series? Farscape, you know, Babylon 5. You know, Babylon 5 actually had its 5-year story arc, so they got a chance to complete that. But how often does the show get to do that? You know, networks tend to cancel sometimes when you least expect it, and you're left there holding the bag, and the audience is the one that really pays the biggest price, because they're the ones who have fallen in love with the characters in the story, and they're sitting there left not knowing what's going to happen to these characters that they care about. So at least they're going to be able to do that with Battlestar right now. And so, you know, I will only say this, it's going to be the most powerful, I think, 22 episodes, really. I mean, this powerful, somebody, I think Kevin Grazier called it a train wreck you can't take your eyes off of, you know? So hopefully you guys will be able to hang in there for another 5 or 6 months after we finish episode 10 and be able to wait for the next 10 episodes. I believe they're coming around January, February of next year. Any other questions about what's going on so far, or something that's bothered you, or something that you know, wish had happened or didn't happen? Yes?
Is Caprica actually getting picked up?
Caprica is a backdoor pilot, as far as I know. It's being shot. I mean, not shot yet. It's being cast now, and will be shot in the next month or two. And then it's just a question of what the Sci-Fi Channel wants to do and what the audience demand is. So we'll see. I think the problem is that you know, shows like this tend to be more expensive, and so it just depends on the Sci-Fi Channel. I hate to say it, but unfortunately, they were not going to pick up Battlestar Galactica. Did you know that? I don't know if you know that Battlestar was not going to be picked up after the miniseries. And Sky Channel in England actually, thank you very much, picked up the show and pumped in a large amount of the money and decided to you know, film a initial season. And then there were so many downloads happening, and this was kind of before we recognized that this could happen like this. But the downloads from England, when it was playing there, actually helped to publicize the show and get the audience in America really excited and ready to see it. So it finally obviously opened in the United States after it played in England, and you know, it did exceptionally well, and so the Sci-Fi Channel picked it up. But I mean, the show almost didn't happen. So I'm hoping with Caprica that Caprica at least gets a shot to have a first season. And I don't know about you, but I always think shows need at least 2 seasons before you really get a chance to see what that show is capable of doing. First years are always hard because everybody's getting to know each other and everybody thinks they know the answers, and the network executives want this, don't want that, and there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And everybody thinks they know, how it should be done. I think an example of that was probably the Bionic Woman. I mean, honestly, they had so many people that had creative vision about what it should be or what it shouldn't be, and the trouble was it created a gridlock. And unfortunately, it was hard to really find a creative, what do you want to call it, a through line and an underlying, story hook